We don't have a fixed way of composing. Maybe he does the first couple of minutes, we can maybe, and this gives me a lot of ideas because he has idea I would never have, never. And so I start thinking and developing the thing, and he doesn't like what I did, so he changes what I did, and then I don't like what he did, and this is building and building up until we find the final solution.
I think the main difference of progressive music of 35 or 40 years ago, ELP or Pink Floyd or Genesis or Yes or, any of those historical bands, and progressive music of today is those bands reflected their times and they sounded of their time. What you have with progressive bands today that are progressive bands today and not just trying to emulate something that's 35 years old is they reflect the influences that have happened in the 35 years.
Some people are trying to sound like they're from 1975, other people are trying to go forward from now. So I think when the word progressive applies to us, we consider this and we are trying to move forward.
Music that's primarily rock-based, but incorporates influences from other genres such as classical, folk, electronic, jazz, of course. It's a form of music that emphasizes virtuosic musicianship, people that can really play their instruments, people that can really sing.
The sisters of illusion sell delusion at the show. It is said they've wed for wisdom. If it kissed them, they wouldn't even know.
The music that I really loved as a kid was the kind of dangerous music like Van de Graaff Generator, Genesis. They would play one note, and it was almost as deadly as Black Sabbath. King Crimson had that album Red, which you would turn that on and it would, your hair would be blown back. It was so incendiary.
It's an art form. It's the music on the charts is fashion. So it shouldn't be confused with music. People do confuse the two. Progressive music, in its best light, is in the same category for me as the Miles Davis and the Mahlers and the Holts and Tchaikovsky.
One of the big songs on the Deluge Grainer album, The Form of the Good, is Aggrandizement, the big 19-minute song. After I'd recorded all the instruments, it was often a tough call when to use certain instruments. I've got so many ideas for songs that I want to do. I mean, really almost like 6 or 7 albums worth.
If you were to go to an average high school today, it's a lot of kids listening to rap and hip hop and stuff like that, and they don't really know about music that much. The thing with progressive music is it's never really on like a major record label or anything like that, so it's not the kind of thing you're going to hear on the radio or see it in stores and stuff like that.
And in America, you can go 3,300 miles and you hear the same thing on the radio, the same thing on the television, and the same thing in the print media. And it's sort of kind of like Russia was, for thousands and thousands and thousands of miles. It was the same thing.
So this is much important because there are many people that want to listen that kind of music. But there's no chance to promote this music. The only things are the records, the CDs, and the concerts.
I've never gotten an offer, for example, from a label. I mean, even though I put out 3 albums that have sold between 300 or 1,000 or 1,500 copies, I've never gotten an offer from a label.
Yeah, people have actually made a living doing music.
It just hasn't been us.
Yeah.
I think we're just gonna keep doing it no matter what.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
at this point, it's like, you know, it'd be almost silly to try to stop.
So there's an underground world, and this underground world is not only in Italy, but in all the world.
Sometimes that's very touching, you know, to realise that you've been in a part of a project that has touched people deeply and spawned another generation of musicians, which I think music and the arts is what makes life vital. It's essential to our being, and more of that can only be a great thing.
These 3 bands are very special to me, and I believe, with all respect for many other young bands, those are 3 best progressive bands in the world. And I'm very proud of them, and one of these bands is here, DFA.
Our songs are long, complex. You need 20 listenings to know the songs, and 20 listening, you are not buying any other CD, so it is uncommercial, you know? And this is why it doesn't work for the music business.
It's an intangible quality about a Nearfest band.
It's something that you feel in here that makes you say, these guys are going to work on the stage. They bring some youth, they bring the heart of their country in their music. You can hear it. There's definitive things that are absolutely Latin about what they do, but it's also very progressive.
Yo estoy muy contento con la respuesta de la gente.
Nuestra música era nuestra arma con la que nos podemos defender en esta batalla.
Queríamos conquistar a la gente y bueno, creo que lo logramos.
My music is not going to be played on a high radio station in Los Angeles, you know. Sony Records is not trying to find music of our nature, so it's up to us to find the audience.